So, have you ever wondered why the police say you have the right to remain silent? Well, I'm going to tell you why they're required to say this to you and when it's best to just keep your mouth shut when dealing with the police. So I am criminal defense attorney Hannah Akintoye, and when it comes to the police requirement to inform you of your right to remain silent, the reason why we even got here in the first place is because back in the day, what was happening was that the police were arresting people for crimes, and then they would essentially take them to the back room of the police station and start interrogating them on the very same crime that they were arrested for. And so the courts eventually said, hey, this is not fair. And in fact, this is unlawful because people have constitutional rights. It's your Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights to an attorney that were violated in these situations. And so that's how it came about, that if the police already had probable cause to arrest you for a crime, and then they subsequently start interrogating you on that very same crime that you're arrested for, they gotta let you know about what your constitutional rights are to an attorney. So let me give you an example. Let's say the police arrested you for shoplifting, and after they arrested you, they take you into the police station, into the interrogation room, and they say, we saw you on video surveillance stealing from Target. And your response is to immediately defend yourself. And you say, well, actually, I wasn't stealing. What really happened is when I was in Target, I was in the self-checkout line. And after I had paid for my items, I realized that there was one item that I had not paid for. But I didn't go into the store intending to steal anything. Now, a normal person would say, okay, well, that's not an incriminating statement. You were really just explaining yourself. You didn't admit to a crime. But a criminal defense lawyer will absolutely tell you that you incriminated yourself, and I'll tell you how. One, you admitted that you were in Target. Two, you admitted to taking items that you did not pay for. And then three, you also admitted that you had items in your possession that you didn't pay for, nor did you make any attempts to pay for it once you found out that you had them in your possession. And so what the police would do is they would try to use these statements against you because they are absolutely incriminating statements. Now, if you had an attorney, they would absolutely tell you that those are significantly incriminating statements, and therefore they would have advised you not to make those statements to the police. And so when it comes to the police informing you of your right to remain silent, it's really, really important to remember that this right only applies once you've been arrested and you are being questioned. It doesn't apply just because you are arrested, and it certainly does not apply before you're arrested. So that means that if you were to walk into a police station, right, and say, hey guys, I stole a bunch of items from Target, they could arrest you, right? Or if you say, hey, I just want to let you guys know I shot somebody, they'd absolutely take you into custody. So you want to be very careful about the kinds of statements you make to the police. Obviously, the examples that I gave you were exaggerations, but if the police are approaching you because they're investigating a crime, most of the time they're approaching you because they believe that you have some involvement. So before you start explaining yourself, no matter how nice the police may be, they have a job to do. In the course of doing their job, if you now develop into a suspect or they find that you actually committed a crime, they have to take you into custody. No matter how nice of a conversation that they had with you, they have a job to do, and they're going to do that even if it's to your detriment. So really, really important to know why you have the right to remain silent. Now, when it comes to the best time to remain silent, the best time is every time. Every time a police officer comes in contact with you and wants to ask you questions, it's always best to not answer questions without the presence of an attorney. That's the best that I can say, because if you're not a criminal defense attorney, you don't know how those statements can be used against you. Most of the time, your words will be twisted in a way that you did not intend, and they can be used against you no matter what your intent is. So before you make any statements, make sure that you consult with an attorney about what your options are and whether this really truly makes sense for your circumstances. So I hope that information is helpful to you. Always feel free to reach out to me with any additional questions that you have. You can either message me below or on my website, mydclaw.com, and I'm always happy to chat with you further and answer your questions. As always, stay safe, and I will talk to you all soon.